The next band I want to talk about was the Melatauns.
That is my baby.
Yeah, your baby.
Me and my buddy Pat Ricks, who was the singer on a lot of the first 3 records. We've done 7, and he's been on each one of the last 3 to 4 on a couple tracks. But he kind of got out of the business. He got high blood pressure and things like that, and he had to back off. And yeah, he's a barber. He owns a barber shop in Hilton in CBD.
Oh, okay.
It's called Pat's Barbershop.
Cool.
But we were friends since high school, and we always wanted to do a band and do something that was really New Orleans sounding. You can't get much more New Orleans sound than Melatauns.
I was gonna say I love that name, dude.
Melatauns.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So we did it the way New Orleans people say it, and Louisiana people say it. It's Melatauns.
Phonetically speaking.
Yeah, exactly, right. And we just went out there with the idea, man, let's just do originals. And the way to just, whatever it hit, wherever, like if we heard it as a jazz song, we did it as a jazz song. If we heard it as a heavy metal song, we wrote it as a heavy metal song. The first couple of records were definitely pretty heavy. The Melatauns, and then
heavy metal. Heavy metal.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy metal.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was called the Melatauns is the first one, the Bards of Melatonia, and the second one is called Knuckle Sandwich. It's got a big sandwich with a hand in it. And then after that, we kind of like, well, let's do a swing record, and then we did an all swing and Latin record.
Yeah.
Of all originals.
Cool.
Yeah, and that was called the Swingin' Melatauns. We changed it as we would change the genre.
How is it that your partner could switch up the genre so much as well as you? Did he have a similar background?
He did okay. Yeah, he was a singer since he was a kid. He sang in the church. He was a choir guy, and he's got that blue-eyed soul kind of voice. But some of them he didn't do as good. Some of them he did well. And if he didn't do it well, I would take it over and do one song, sing a song. Because knowing the genres and the styles, he wasn't as much a jazz guy.
Okay.
But for everything else, he was the man.
I saw a video online of y'all performing as the Melatauns. There's an accordion.
The accordion player is our keyboard player.
Oh, okay.
And so sometimes he'll pull out the accordion just to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it though. It was like that particular video. I don't know what to call it to reference it, but it was like I felt like a juke joint, but with an Acadiana feel to it with the accordion. I really liked he's very important, my keyboard player, because me and him have been scoring the music like I was talking about earlier. But he also plays in all of the gigs with me, and he was instrumental in the Beatles, which is another band. And the Beatles was basically me and my buddy Anthony on drums. We all lived in Abita, and the guitar player was from Liverpool, which was super cool. How about that? Yeah.
And instead of George Harrison, we had an accordion player.
Okay, well that's cool.
And we did 2 CDs of that music, all originals.
Okay, and that's also at Louisiana Music Factory?
That's also at the Music Factory, and you can get that on Spotify and Apple, whatever, Amazon.
Great. No, that's good.
Yeah, and that was more of a Louisiana sound. We were trying to get like almost a Cajun-y rock sound.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's my buddy Rick Stelma.
That's cool. I was digging the accordion, man.
Yeah, he's a great accordion player too. We bust in Italy.
Did you?
Yeah, we went to Italy about 4 years ago, right before the pandemic, the summer before. And Lil Freddie had got me a gig in Rome, so I had one gig in Rome. And I was going to Italy to hook up with some friends of mine who are from Italian musicians that come to New Orleans all the time. And I was going there to kind of meet some promoters and festival people.
Yeah.
And I wound up meeting a few of them in Ravenna. And so we did like Bologna, Ravenna, Peru. And then we wound up renting a villa in Cocciano, which is right outside Perugia. And they have a big, huge music festival every summer.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't get in the festival, but we just busked outside the festival.
That's cool.
And we were the only American band out there, so we were really doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so me and him went, and we went with another friend who played guitar. He just came, used to play with the Melatauns a little bit, Sam Camerata. And yeah, we just spent 10 days, man. We got a whole villa in Italy for like $500 for 10 days.
That's awesome. I know. Yeah. What did you plan to do with the contacts that you were making? Like, which band were you eyeballing for that?
I was going to try, I was trying. Well, the pandemic hit, and that kind of put a damper on it. And
Sure.
It's still open. I still talk to those people. And who knows, as travel gets better, maybe we'll wind up there in a year or two. So, but I was planning on trying to bring the Melatauns over there, or some form of the Melatauns anyway, because it could get expensive to try to bring a 5, 6, 7-piece band.
How many guys in the Melatauns?
Well, it was rotating members, man. Each CD had like 20 different guys that I would use on it.
Did y'all perform live though?
Oh yeah, we did lots of live venues.
And how many guys would you?
I'd usually use we did I would try to always have like a 5 or 6-piece band.
Okay.
At least 2 horns, or 1 horn at least.
Yeah.
Guitar, bass, drums, piano.
Okay.
And at least 1 horn. But I love having 2 horns.
Sure.
If you listen to the Melatauns music, there's some heavy metal stuff with a horn section, dude.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Sure.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, even.
Absolutely.
Funk. Horns are rock and roll. I don't care what people say.
Yeah. Well, look at my favorite is Chicago Transitory.
Right,
Chicago experimental brass band. I'm there.
Yeah, I love all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
And in New Orleans, that was always a big thing. Even the rock and roll in the 50s and 60s, they always had horn players.
Yeah, well, like you said earlier, I think a lot of that stuff, it didn't seem out of place to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But when you go elsewhere with it, it's something new.
Exactly.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The last on my list was Smokehouse Brown Trio.
Smokehouse Brown. Smokehouse is, what can I say? The Smokehouse plays with a band called Johnny Maestro's blues band. And Johnny travels all over the world. He's based out of New Orleans. And he's got a really good blues band. And so Smokehouse came around about 5 months ago, and he's always been at Freddie's show, so I knew Smoke for a long time. And he's like, he sends out he calls Chris Davis, so I call Cakewalk. A lot of people call him Cakewalk as his nickname. So he's such a great drummer. But Cakewalk called, and he was called all the ex-Special Men, minus King James.
Okay.
And he said, look, Smokehouse wants to do something with the Special Men. And so we got together for a gig Mardi Gras night. We opened for CC Adcock.
Wow.
Well, I know you're familiar with CC.
Yeah.
And we were under an impression that we were going to go into the Special Man kind of bag, and it wound up not being that. So 3 of the other Special Men quit, and me and Chris stayed with Smokehouse. And now we're just the Smokehouse Brown Trio. But we do every Monday night at BJ's. And it's really hardcore Chicago style blues. And
this is upright bass for you?
No, sometimes I'll play upright. I have a half size. That's a half size bass. Upright bass is the same scale as an electric.
Okay.
So I'll bring that sometimes and play. But I play on a 7/8, which is almost a whole full size bass.
Right.
And there's no way I could go boom ba doom ba doom ba doom all night long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Killing myself. So.
Yeah.
On an upright. So, but I'll bring the half size every couple of gigs. I'll bring the half size bass and play upright. But yeah, it borders like hardcore blues, rock and roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the kind of feel that is. Last night we had a couple of harp players came in. Andy J. Forrest, who's one of the best harmonica players I know. He could play with a horn section, Yeah. Yeah, play parts.
That's cool.
And then Bobby Lewis from Lil Freddie's band was there, and he's a monster player too. He's so yeah, that's what we're doing on Monday nights. I'm doing that's from 9 to 11 at BJ's. Free red beans and rice.
Are you considered like a house band there?
Yeah, we're considered kind of like the house band. Yeah, we don't know whether yet we want to start pushing it out into other places, but there's some plans to do a record in Chicago.
Oh, really?
With a big, with the label for the blues. that's known for the blues. I won't say no names.
Yeah.
Yet. Don't want to jinx it. But yeah, so that's where that's at.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a fun band too. And Smoke is incredible. Smokehouse play. He reminds me of Billy Gibbons.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He just plays his leads and his solos are so Billy Gibbon-esque. It's, you know.
Is he's singing also?
Yeah, he does some singing too. Yeah, yep,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, and sometimes there's some stuff where it's just instrumental too. It's just a jam, you know.
Yeah.
So.
How long have you been with them?
Since Mardi Gras.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lundi Gras.
This past.
Yeah, just
Okay.
passed. Yeah, that's been together since then. Yeah. But I played with the drummer Chris Davis. We played in a bunch of different bands together over the years. He was in a Special Man. We were in a band with me and a trombone, him and a trombone player called 3-Piece Mix. Yeah.
So what was? I mean, that's fairly quick to be eyeballing a recording in Chicago for a label. Was that Smoke's original intention in putting it together, or it just kind of happened?
It just kind of happened.
Cool.
And Smoke has connections already.
Okay.
And he must have turned them on and said, hey, this is what I'm doing now. And this guy goes, so there's I can't remember the record, but anyway, they want us to redo this record that somebody did in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
And they want us to do the same music to
Anything?
a fresher recording of it.
Okay.
And so
Do you recreate it, or has it got some of y'all's?
We're going to recreate it.
I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it'll be a little bit of us and a lot of what it was.
Roger.
Yes,
Gotcha.
sir.